Metaverse as well, so that everybody knows that we're getting started for the Raw Talk. It's your girl Mo'Casso and one of my favorite co-hosts, Chy. Chy, tell the people what's up.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday.
Love it, love it. It is a great Sunday. We just came from our core boardroom meeting when we talked about our Raw Gala and all the amazing things that we have in store for that. So stay tuned because we got a lot in store, man. But aside from that, let's get into this Raw talk because not only has there been a lot going on in the Raw Network, but in this world too, man. So, Chy, I know you got our itinerary together. What are we going to be talking about today?
Okay, so drum roll, please. Okay, we gotta put it in drum roll. We gotta do drum roll. That would be great.
We're gonna get these sound effects figured out.
Yeah. So our topic today are going to be Brittany Griner, Donald Trump, unpatriotic. This guy, he's a comedian. He should really do stand up. Walmart CEO is raising prices. Why is that? Ooh, we gotta get into that. Iran blocking women's accounts. Ooh, that's the no-no. AI art, what's next? And we have last but never least, SZA's new album, Thoughts.
And if you missed SZA's new album, like I did, we will also be having a live listening party after this episode. So we'll end this stream and then we'll restream with the P2d RAW Radio, where we'll just be playing SZA's new album and listening to it here in the Seventh Wonder. So feel free to join the space. I love to listen to things on my laptop because what I do personally is hook it up to my TV, and now I'm listening to this music, but I've got a really cool screen on my screen, and it makes me feel like I've taken a little vacation while I'm listening to this music. It'd be a whole vibe. So let's get into these topics so we can get into that album, starting with Brittany Griner. Please, Chy, tell us, why don't you break us into what that is even, who is Brittany Griner and what's going on?
Okay, so actually I will pull up like the tab. I think I dropped a link so we can have it like pulled up here if you want to pull that up for me.
Screen right here for everybody to see. So that's great. And then let's take a look. Okay. And let me get this right for all of our streamers watching. And let me get that. Okay. And so here we're getting Brittany Griner. Let's see. Here she is from the Shade Room. Ooh, you know the Shade Room gonna talk that talk. So we have here. Okay, so oh wait, is this the one? Oh wait, no, maybe this isn't the one. This is Donald Trump talking about it. Let me see, another one from the Shade Room. Nope,
I mean, both the two topics coincide together. Okay. Actually,
let's get it.
Just wanted to read the first just to give some of our viewers a little taste so they can do their own research, of course. So, we have here WNBA star Brittany Griner is thankfully back in the United States after spending 10 months detained in Russia. But after clips began circulating online, many noticed that Britney's signature locks were gone. According to Maria Blovinia, one of Griner's two Russian warriors, Britney cut her hair 2 Sundays ago, and told her attorneys that she had made her decision in order to make life a little easier during Russian winter. It's very cold in there, and every time she washed her hair, she got cold and would get a chill, Maria explained. She would have waited until New Year's Day. So that's what you had the Shade Room saying about Brittany Griner, what she's done recently, and how she's been, she did the switch out with, I can't think of I read it and I can't think of the name. It was like
the Russian arms dealer.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, what's going on here? Why are they switching a dealers of death? You can't have him roaming around.
Yeah.
Like, and what I've noticed is that a lot of people, they're not doing like their research. Somebody was like, I could be totally wrong. She was like over there in Russia for charges of marijuana.
She was less than a gram, which is like less than a blunt of marijuana.
Okay, okay. And what did that other lady say? She said something. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I was just like, okay, yeah, the weed, we got it. And I was like, okay, what's bigger behind this like weed situation? And that's what I wanted people to get at and start thinking about. Because I'm thinking in my head like, okay, they're doing the switch out. Okay, but why? And what's the bigger reason behind that why? So
And I love that you know, point out that talk because you already know that's how we keep it rolling here. And that was always one of my thoughts because, you know, one of the things is there's Americans locked up all over the world and they don't make national news. Now, I get it. She is a basketball player, so has a little bit more celebrity behind her. But then, you know, I always wonder, you know, what was this, you know, bigger mission behind, you know, it always being, you know, Brittany Griner being locked up in Russia for this small amount of weed. And then, you know, when it's fast forward now, the Democrats have gotten her out of jail and switched her for a Russian arms dealer. I think everybody looks at it and is like puzzled, like, what? Like, how did that make sense? How is that a fair trade? How is that even something that, you know, 1+1 = 2? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I think they could have.
Because the math ain't math.
You feel me? Because I think, you know, being saying you're gonna be locked up overseas is tough in general. Because I mean, you know, we're it's different being here in America. You know, when you start traveling internationally, you know, it that comes with understanding the laws of the land because they do have strict laws, especially when it comes to like drugs and what you bring into their community. So, you know, I've always like understood why certain cultures have been very protective to like outlaw stuff so that like outsiders can't come in and like bring in their outside culture. Because I mean, think about our history and how people have like literally been civilized and their cultures like overtaken by other cultures. So I get, you know, that sense of trying to protect it. But to this extreme where you have, like you said, you know, Brittany Griner now had to cut her locks because it's cold in Russia. And I feel like that's even code word for she was probably being mistreated because she is homosexual. She is an American. She is black and she was in Russia. And I think, you know, that was, you know, for her to say, you know, that she had to cut them because, you know, she would get cold from washing her hair. You know, I think I've got long locks myself and it does take a long time. And you can't go out in the cold if your hair is wet and it takes a while for them to dry. So, you know, I think she just knew that was a way for her to actually survive. Like, you can't get pneumonia and keep getting it and keep getting it. And, you know, and if you're not washing your hair but people are putting water on you, then it's inevitable. So, you know, I started thinking about all the extremes and, again, like this bigger mission on what people are really saying. And, you know, it's just real interesting to watch it play out.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. And that transitions us into the next topic, which is her. But Donald Trump had something to say about it. So if you don't mind doing the honors of pulling that up for me.
Let me see here. I think I just was looking at the Donald Trump one. Was I at a different one? Let me see.
Oh, you already had it pulled up?
I think so. I think I just was showing a different one for you. Let me see.
Okay.
1 second, This one, right? Or another one?
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's right.
Okay, so go ahead and dive right in.
Okay. He has to go on Truth Social to like voice his opinion because he's banned. Like, I just want to take a moment to just say that because,
I didn't
oh
even think
my
about that
gosh,
right there. Like, oh, Truth Social. Like, what even is that? I have to click on that
what
hashtag.
is that? Like,
Interesting.
okay,
Trump 2024 real president. Interesting.
yeah. Okay, so Donald Trump shares his thoughts on Brittany Griner prison swap. What a stupid and unpatriotic embarrassment for the USA. All caps. I can't say it without cracking up. Guys, hilarious. What kind of a deal is it to swap Brittany Griner, a basketball player who openly hates our country, for the man known as the Merchant of Death, who is one of the biggest arms dealers anywhere in the world and responsible for tens of thousands of deaths, horrific injuries. Why hasn't former Marine Paul Whelan included in this totally one-sided transaction? He would have been let out for asking, what a stupid and unpatriotic embarrassment for the USA.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense.
So,
One thing I say about Trump is that man don't be lying. He be trying to tell people that people be lying, but I don't think he be one that be lying. I will say that, and I think it is very interesting, and it makes us all look just odd. Like we do a lot of odd things as Americans. I think to like the global world. And I think that's just what he's trying to say there, right? Like, oh, you guys swapped out a basketball player for the Merchant of Death around the world. Like, that made sense to us.
and when I read that, I was like, the Merchant of Death. It sounds like some John Wick type situation. I'm like, I'm
Right?
not here for it.
Right?
Like, that's not making no sense.
Yeah, I don't get that. And that's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm anti Brittany Griner getting out because again, I feel that. I wouldn't want to wish anybody being locked up internationally for anything. I think everybody should get locked up and get sent back to their own stuff so they can deal with their own laws how they're used to. Because again, I think again you just deal with a lot more discrimination and things like that. And of course, that's just from an outside perspective. I've never been locked up internationally, so I can't say that it's for facts, but just my assumptions, on what I would think based on just I guess what media has portrayed up until this point. And so when I see this is what media is portraying now, again, it doesn't make sense. That's what I would say. It just doesn't make sense how that was a swap. That was like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what's needed to happen right now. And I think it just makes it look like we can be, continue to be taken advantage of. If you talk about how it's unpatriotic, because that's what it seems like, in a sense, to other countries.
Yeah, because somebody that's in the shadows, wherever that may be, wanted wanted homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who did what or how someone moved, but it got moved and that happened.
That part. That's
So
that's what we're saying. We already understand this is a bigger move for these is pawns being moved in a bigger play. So we got that eye open, and we're gonna be raw talking about it, because you already know we gonna be here every week talking about what people are talking about. And just like this isn't, like I said, this has been a story that's been going on with Brittany Griner. I'm sure this isn't going to be how the story ends, because now we've got this, arms dealer out in the world, and her back in the spotlight, and you may not even understand how these pieces are connected to other pieces, but we can see pieces are moving nonetheless. So definitely gonna be interesting. I think some of those other pieces that is moving is Walmart. What are they talking about?
Walmart ain't happy, man. Oh my gosh. Let me pull that up actually. When I see that, I just started cracking up.
Ooh, is there another link in the Discord for that? Let me see if I can pull it up as well. Because I know I had seen something online that was like, oh, people are stealing. Walmart's about to shut down a bunch of their stores. So when I seen you say they were raising prices, I was like, oh, Walmart is serious. They are not having it. And yeah, I already got some ideas about this. I'm just itching for us to dive in. So kick it off whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I seen that. I was just like, dang. Because you see any and everybody at Walmart. Like, I've even been to Walmart. And the prices aren't that bad. Like, if you a family or you like a student or something like that, Walmart's your best friend. Mm-hmm. But now that they raising prices, it's like they may even be competing with other bigger brands like Target. And what that's going to look like and how they going to change around and like rebrand themselves to where it's just like you don't think twice to cross us. It's like, we cater to you now, have cheap prices. Now we about to turn up the flames and see how y'all really cook up in here.
Right.
And
are you still getting something pulled up to like read to us, or did you want to just get into the convo?
No, we can like get it. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me read.
I was gonna say, because if not, I think we kind of hit on the main points on what's happening, so we can,
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay, I have it pulled up here. It says Walmart CEO threatens to raise prices and shut down stores if people keep stealing from the stores. First of all, he already made up in his mind that he gonna raise prices, so it's not a matter of if people don't stop. It's like, I'm already raising prices. I'm just giving you a warning.
Right.
And when it happens, don't be surprised. He says the company loses $3 billion a year due to theft. Y'all just out here taking whatever y'all want to take. Y'all stealing TVs, clothes, hot dogs, Cheetos.
No, and
out of Walmart.
And I think one of the things, when we be talking about how these all be setups to setups to setups, I remember seeing on Instagram about how they were showing about how some lady had got caught stealing at the self-checkout, right? Because she had like she was like scanning a barcode, or no, she was covering the barcode with her hand, so she would act like she would be scanning stuff. And so it was just, really interesting to see like that kind of stuff. And now this, where it's like, oh no, they've been showing how people been stealing. And now they say they about to raise prices and shut down stores because people stealing. And so like you said, I think it's going to be really interesting to see the examples that are going to be made now of people that be stealing. So if y'all be stealing from Walmart, you better cut it out.
It's too late. He said he already made up his mind. He's like $3 billion. I wonder what his face looked like when he read that.
Right. No, and I mean, like, that it's like they already got those sensors that are sensing you and watching you. So, I like we said, at this point, I think it's just going to be more like we already understand how much tech is changing things. Like they count an inventory and they just seeing how much is being lost. And that's because if you think about it, man, you got employees that be finessing, customers that be finessing. That's why they even say, not even just raising prices, but they even think about shutting down stores, and that's because again it goes deeper than that.
For sure.
And so I think that even.
Let's just gonna get.
Oh, go ahead.
My bad, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say right. I was just gonna say I think that even puts us in a good position to talk about our next kind of topic, which is how Iran was blocking women's accounts, and again how this technology is going to be able to start tracking, not only businesses and their losses, but also the consumers. And like if you see, there's a lot of stores when you go into like Asia where there aren't even cashiers. You just pay when you open it, and it'll take your crypto out as soon as you get the drink that you want to get, in a sense. So I think it's going to be really interesting as we see how shopping kind of evolves, and that's why we're even in this place like in the metaverse. Like if you see my new store that I just dropped for my virtual store for my new beanie that's out, which everybody can buy until December 31st, and it's 20% off this week using code winter222. Quick plug. But it offers another experience for shoppers where I'm like, oh yeah, the store is 24/7. I got a little avatar in there you could check out anytime. You can see the piece in person, and there it's a vibe that you can kind of experience. And so when we talk about Walmart and we think about the tools that we're using, and then we also see topics like also they can also start blocking accounts, I think it all comes full circle. So I would love to kind of even dive into that topic next.
For sure. So for the Iran blocking women's accounts, it was actually looks like a double tab where you see Nigeria to limit cash withdrawals to $45 a day. Dang, what am I supposed to do with $45?
Mm-hmm. And let me see, I'm getting
That's
that
terrible.
all pulled up here now as well, so everybody can see. And so let me see,
So it says Iran is blocking the bank accounts of women who refuse to wear a hijab.
Oh, maybe because Instagram wants me to log in, so it's not popping up. But yes, no, those are I do remember seeing those and sharing that too, because like you said, those two went hand in hand, where they're blocking the accounts of women who aren't wearing hijabs, and they are limiting bank accounts to $45. And again, when we talk about how all this connected, it's going to get even further, man, when we be warning people about their social credit score. And like how even you talked about how Donald Trump was on a whole nother platform because he's banned from Twitter, right? And it's not because he doesn't have money or anything like that. It's because society said, oh, he's canceled and can't come and be on this platform because of things that he's already said. So again, when you start seeing all of these topics we've talked about and how they're all connected to this bigger mission, it's so crazy.
And you got to be open to seeing that. Like, you have to realize this is what things are turning into, and it's just like, how do I navigate and play the game? And they for sure playing chess.
Right, and you're either going to be a pawn or you're going to be a queen. And the good thing I will say is, a pawn, is a female position, because pawns can become queens if you make it to the other side of the board. And the good thing about a queen on a chessboard, if you've never played the game of chess, is that queens can move however they want, and it's just about protecting that king piece that can't do whatever they want, because once you get in checkmate, then it's game over. So, it's just always really interesting. Again, that's why I always say, we've been seeing this pawn over here, Brittany Griner, moving across the, chessboard. And even like you said, seeing how someone like Donald Trump, who already said, oh, she doesn't even like America, which means that this whole game with her has already started way before we even caught wind of it, right? And so I think, again, that's where it just comes down to, like you said, paying attention, us having these conversations to talk about our different perspectives from it, what we get from it. Because I think that's the interesting part about the news, right? And even being able to communicate. Everybody can see a situation, but sees it in their own perspective, based on their own experiences and own history that they have with different topics. And so, yeah, I think that is really, really interesting. And so, with that being said, I want to also show you guys here, because I know Chai is taking a break here for 1 second. So while she does that, we'll take a quick commercial break over here to our Discord, where you can actually see all of the amazing things that we have going on. Let me see if I can find this for y'all real quick. Oh, this is my store. This is some other stuff. I'm trying to find the commercial for you guys. Let me see. Yes, I've been busy making lots of content. Let me see if I can find this quick commercial as I'm just talking, and you guys see all the stuff that you kind of got a quick whiff of, and here is that commercial. So enjoy. Let's talk about where to find us on social media. First, Instagram, P2d _RAW Network. Same on Twitter, P2d _RAW Network, and also the _RAW _DAO, which is the same on Twitch. We're also on Facebook at Raw DAO, like that, and on YouTube as Raw Network. And you guys know we're also on our podcast, which you can find on Amazon, Spotify, Google, Apple, and iHeartRadio. And if you need to see any of that again, run it back, because you guys know we're going to be in the metaverse doing what we do. Woo! Great stuff. And I see Chai is back. So welcome back, Miss Chai.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
No problem. And we were just talking about how everything was tied, and I would love to even jump into that next part of the conversation, which is that AI art, because again, like we said, we see how things have been building up, and that something is coming next, and it's that this technology is going to continue to evolve. And so with understanding that this technology is going to continue evolving, it's cool to see it in as it's like being onboarded to the masses now. And I think one of the really cool examples that took storm this week was AI art. And it's crazy because I have been telling my husband, like, AI art about to pop. And sure enough, here it is popping this week. So I would love to dive into that topic. And so let me see
For
here.
sure. Let me go ahead and... Because I seen it and I was just like, oh, this is cool.
Yes, and so the reason why it had really taken off this week was because there was this app called Lenza that really took storm, where you can basically put your pictures into it and then it would make your own art. And so you see a lot.
I was seeing that.
Yeah, let me see if there's a way that I can actually pull up this tweet here. And welcome, Last Monkey. We are currently having the Raw Talk, which is streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So feel free to jump into the convo. We are just talking about AI art. and how it just took storm this week. So like I just mentioned, Linza came over, everybody was putting in their pictures and, changing their profile pictures, which I thought, everybody was having a lot of fun with. But I think when people started to get a little bit upset with it, which I thought was interesting perspective, and why I even wanted to bring up this tweet here. So let me see. I think that you guys in here are looking at my right screen. Let me see. Share this tab instead. There we go. Okay. So seeing AI art being featured on this main page of ArtStation saddens me. I love being with MJ as much as anyone else, but putting something that was a MJ's Midjourney, which is also an AI tool, as much as anyone else, but putting something that was generated using a prompt alongside artwork that took hundreds of hours and years of experience is what is beyond disrespectful. So I was interested because you guys know I'm in the whole Twitter thread trying to get all the perspectives. And so I did just want to kind of highlight a few of those other points that were made here. So then he goes on to say, you're doing a major disservice to the art community by allowing this on your platform without a noticeable disclaimer. So that was even something that, he said to this marketplace or, ArtStation that says, hey, you should at least have a disclaimer that it's AI and in its own section. And so one of the things that was really interesting to me here is, people are talking about the appreciation for the art, but there was one comment here. Let me see if I can find it fairly quickly. If not, it's okay. It's okay, I can't find the exact comment. But they were basically just saying how they felt like also it shouldn't take a bunch of labor in order for people to appreciate the work, right? Because you're still creating this prompt, you're still getting a beautiful image, and that's more so what people are appreciating about the art, if it's just about the art. So you get this contrast of, the people that want to know that the artist put in their blood, sweat, and tears and studied and, put into creating this art, whereas there's another side of the community that just appreciates the beauty of the art and what you are able to create almost simultaneously, using this AI and this prompt. And then also, I will say, because I did also watch a YouTube video that was talking about it, and the biggest thing also is credit when it comes to AI art, and actually who gets credit for it. Because when you're making an AI art, and this is why I also even wanted to have a prompt here, and we can do a live showing of how you can use it, but using other artists is actually how you get the best for it. So I will give you guys a live demo on how AI art actually works. So let me get back over here, over to share my tab here. So this is what the Midjourney AI, you basically connect it with your, you connect it with Discord. And so as you can see here, these are some images I already created from Midjourney. And so if you can see here, these are my prompts that I've used. And so I will say also, let me kind of start at the beginning so you guys can see what it looked like when I first got started, because it started to get good, but in the beginning I was struggling. And these are just some of these ones that I had been playing with this week, because we had a Twitter space where one of our collaborators, the Dolphin Art DAO, we're trying to create a logo for some additional merch. So we're like, okay, well, what if we merge a dolphin and an apple? And I mean, look at this. How crazy.
I like the one in the corner.
Okay, that one is kind of cool.
Right.
The dolphin is a little freaking me out though. Like, I don't know what the shape is.
Yeah, the bottom left hand corner. I don't even know what that is.
Okay, but that was the first time when I put it in there on a majestic dolphin eating a green apple. And I think this was more of it being eaten by a green apple. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me add some more stuff, like a pink ocean. I want to get a little bit more characteristics that can be highlighted in it. And so then I start kind of playing with it a bit more, and then I kind of take a turn, and I'm like, okay, well, I've got this 222 hat, so I wanted to see if I can pull a really cool like font that I wanted to use on it. But I would say I didn't really get a lot of good stuff for that, and I started to realize it came down to my prompt, right? Like, what are you feeding the AI? Because all you have to do is type some words, and we're going to do some fun stuff and actually create together here in just a moment. But just to kind of finish this example on how the prompts and the artists matter. So again, now I start adding even more characteristics. Like with the kid, this one I want metallic and black and white because I start adding more colors and I start getting more like better pictures, right? This one isn't horrible. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me try with the dolphins again. So I try and I get a little better, like almost getting there. And then here, I even start getting better. Okay, I want watercolors and, a certain type as well. And this one, I even used an AI prompt writer for AI pictures. Because I was like, okay, enough is enough. Mid-Journey, you only get 25 free tries. I'm like, I need some good stuff here. So you also can have an AI prompt generator where I put in, okay, I want a dolphin and a green apple, and it gave me some context that says like a dolphin and a green apple and a isometric view by Roger Dean. And again, this is the artist, so now that's why it looks like this style, because if you look up Roger Dean, this is what his style looks like. And so I continue to play with that a little bit here until we get to the end where, now I've got this cinematic, realistic, hyper realistic, all these great words. And then also I start adding, okay, well, now I want to look up graffiti artists because then I start getting it, right? So I start looking up specific artists and I start getting even better like looks of what I was trying to get there. And so again, that's where, but also here you can see how in this corner there's like a credit because they literally took somebody's art though to make my art. And so it comes down to like, what is morals really? Because like this is me saying that I made this art from my creativeness creating this prompt, but somebody else actually created the physical art that inspired it. And so, you get this whole conversation of what is moral and what is not when it comes to AI. So before we actually dive into making our own, I would love to hear what everybody else thoughts about was with this AI and moral or not moral and things of that nature.
First of all, I'm like, does Mo know like someone still has access to this? I was like, whatever this is so cool. Because I'm still in it and I could see like notifications popping in. So I was just like, let me go and be nosy. And I was like, this is so dope. And then I started seeing Shiva change her Instagram profile. And I was like, I want to change my Instagram profile. So this is so cool to see. I think like I would say, I don't know if this is being biased, but like I think credit and like having proof of credit is like so important. And I say that because it's like I can take somebody else's work, slap my name on it, and then take the credit for all of that, and that may not be the case or true. But also too, if you gathered inspiration from someone else, you need to also like put that as well, because it's just like we kind of all get copied in our own way. So it's like a copy of a copy of a copy, but it's a copy that differs because it's our own perspective of that perception we're seeing, if that makes sense. Like I know that was a lot, but I think it's very important. And me, I grew up having to make sure I have proof, have an MLA format for all my people that know that, because MLA format, you had to like give credit to the author that you were taking the information from to back up your source as proof, because it's proof. That's essentially what it is. It's proof saying that you're backing up that, yeah, I gather inspiration from that, and how did it make you feel and all this other stuff. Because when you put it out in the open, like, yeah, this is what inspired me, like, it could build something bigger than that. That artist may want to collaborate with you more, and that can open up um new connections and new perspective and stuff like that. So a lot of times we like block our own blessings, just because we're like, I want to be original and I want to be the first to do it. But it may not necessarily be the first of how you're thinking it's going to be. It may turn into something else that you're the first of, but it's in the same aspect. So it's a little wonky how you may think about it, but I think credit should be given and respected, because I would want that. Like, you treat other people how you want to be treated. So if Mo did something and I gather inspiration from that, and I'm like, oh, that's dope, I gotta give her credit because she's the one that I'm building my foundation off of. You know what I'm saying?
Right? No, and I 1,000% agree with you on that, Chai. And I think it's really important because one of the topics or new business models in Web3 is also CC0, which means like you own no rights. So it's like how, like, say, for example, you use an app where you can just use any of the content as your own, right? It's open source, right? And so you being able to access other people's art, like you said, and say that you got it from them and inspired from them, it's impactful because it makes the original even more valuable. And like you said, also now you're connected with that original community, so now you're strengthened together. So I think it definitely has to be like a part of the culture in it, right? Is giving that credit, even if it's AI generated. The AI should have some type of disclaimer like, oh, inspired by this artist, so that it again is at least still pointing them to that direction. And you know, you can do that in all things, even just myself as a metaverse creator. I think one of the ways that I always show that is like, you know, when we came into the metaverse, we always, one of the first things we had in mind was metaverse karaoke, right? And so we're like, oh, we're gonna have all these awesome events, game night, which we do every Thursday, karaoke, open mic night, and a whole list. And as we're in this space, somebody else in this space, CJ Meta Events, was having a karaoke event. And so I was able to attend that and experience how they carried metaverse karaoke. And so, like you said, Chai, it's not always about saying like, oh, well, I did it first, but seeing how people did it and also giving credit where that is due, right? So anytime I'm talking about metaverse karaoke and how it can be done, I always cite them because I understand that the formula that I'm giving for how it can be done in this space was curated by them, with having everybody with your mics off and a board where everybody can add songs to and different things like that, you know? So it's like, and like you said, now that's even more because, you know, we talked about doing collaborations for our karaoke event with them and definitely planning to. But then we can also have our own. And as long as we're giving that credit to those OGs that, you know, created that, it's still, you can continue to do that and shine light on you and them. And so I think about when we, you know, talk about credit, it should just be a part of this culture. And AI definitely makes it very interesting when anybody will be able to create anything, especially because there's another metaverse stageverse where all you get is templates and you use AI to create your outfit so that everybody's wearing the same outfit, but my pattern is different from my prompt. And we all got the same space, but we're, you know, able to customize the furniture patterns and the wallpaper using prompts and stuff. So just continue to be interesting with how AI empowers creators. I know we've got a few other people here in the space, like AK and I guess just AK now. Did you have anything you wanted to add about AI art or anything you've noticed?
Well, guys, other than the fact that everybody is using it, it just kind of it makes me question like where they're getting all this stuff from. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. Like this is brand new to me. Like this, the code just generate the stuff, or does it scan the internet for stuff that's been already pre-made and combine it? So with credit, yeah, it's a really touchy subject because we don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, I'm gonna send you a YouTube video that I watched. It is basically a file that they made. I think it's called like 05B or something like that, 105B, something like that. But it's basically like a database of like all this material, like of human knowledge, basically, that the AI pulls from in like a simple term.
Okay, that'll be an interesting video to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
And it definitely, like you said, though, like, where is it coming from? Where are these tools coming from, right? Like, where are these AIs coming from? And there's so many, you know, and this machine learning where they can continue to learn and grow is all very interesting. So we can have some fun with some AI and actually create our own AI pictures. Oh, no, I got locked out. Okay, Lo-Fi, if you're locked out too, you can follow me this way to the door. And then we can walk back inside. Okay.
It's like they just dropped it on us all at once. Like, okay, guys, now there's AI.
No, it's been coming. You know, it's just the masses. That's what I was saying. Like, it's that mass adoption switch that just flicks on. Like, hey, because they make it simple, where it's like, oh, well, AI has been here, you know, and people have started using it to create all kind of things. But what hooked people was you can make your Avi look like anything because, and you know, my husband had a really good point, which is we're not used to people making a bunch of art about us. So the fact that you can put your picture in and then see like art of yourself and all these different variations, it makes it really cool. And like, you know, which variation are you going to kind of go with? And so it was really interesting to even see that's what like the masses took heed to really like, oh, AI art is here and understanding how to create prompts for it now.
Yeah, that was wild.
And so, yeah, so we can come over here and create some really cool art. So I'm going to show my screen and we're going to create some fun art. So I have this Midjourney bot, as you guys can see in here, in this Discord that I don't use often. Like Chai said, this one's one I had popping a little bit ago. But I started to realize that I had connected with a bunch of people who wasn't ready to go Web3 yet. And I was like, look, I'm not going down with y'all. Some people not going to make it, and some people is. And I am, and those that want to is coming, and those that don't ain't, you know. But you can't force everyone because it's happening. So nonetheless, though, once you got this Midjourney bot in here, it's really easy as well to invite the bot. Once you have the bot in here, you just put /imagine. Okay, imagine. And so once I put /imagine, now I just write a prompt. So what do you guys want our picture to be about?
Put in
I would say, as you're thinking, when I did some research on like prompt development, it's usually good to have like an adjective, noun, and a verb. So like create like a scenario, and then we can add a bunch of words that we want to see in it. So like maybe like three cool black people in the metaverse or something. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Maybe it does. You do that. I don't know. 3.
Okay. Michael Jackson, right?
Black people in the metaverse. Okay. What's some other things you guys want to see in it? Maybe some styles, like sketchbook, black and white, like 90s or like an 80s vibe to it. I don't know. Or futuristic, ultra futuristic.
Yeah, put 80s on.
80s. Okay. 80s vibe. Chai, AK, y'all got any other words or prompts you want to add in there?
Put on there salmon and rice.
Salmon?
Well, I don't know. Don't put that.
So don't put that. Okay, we're gonna come back to that right there.
I'm just.
Okay, so three cool black people in the metaverse, 80s vibe. We'll say robots and aliens. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna see what that do. So it's waiting and thinking about it. So let's see what it's going to come up with. Well, that's one of my favorite parts because you get to just watch it being created. You see it's at 0%. Uh-oh. We're getting some. It's at 12%. We got three black people, I see. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay, so they turned us into the robots and aliens. Okay.
Make it stop.
Okay, let's see. 100%. All right, our final picture popping in right now. Let's see. There we go. So this is the final picture. Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's,
is it 80s though?
I think it's kind of 80s with the fro. I think they tried to give you like an 80s vibe. That's not bad. That's not bad. They tried something with that right there.
Let's do another one.
All right, bet. Here we go. So let's imagine. Okay, what's our main prompt going to be?
Put 1950s Tesla. What didn't they have in the 1950s? iPhone.
Tesla, iPhones. Ooh, maybe like futuristic. Oh no, city. I don't know. I guess maybe 1950s. Let me think.
Yeah, we just pushing this to the limit. Let's see. Fighting.
So what would be like the scene? Like a fight scene? Or like 1950, like,
I have no idea.
Like boxing arena, or like the scene is set. It's 1950s in a boxing arena. Okay. Tech is booming. I don't know. Tech is booming. Tesla, iPhones. Let's see. Future
angry
is coming. Angry. Okay, let's see if it creates some type of like.
Yeah. How can it draw a picture of something like that?
I don't know. It's gonna find it. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Waiting to start. I was so excited for this. I was like, man, that's gonna be so fun to make the AI art together. Okay, it's trying to figure out something.
Oh no. That looks like a bomb.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like a bomb. Let's see. Okay, no, it's a stage, I think. What's up? Uh-oh, 81. Okay, I see some 50s people. Alright, we at 100. Let's see. Okay, they tried some. It's just kind of like a 1950 futuristic looking boxing ring. Interesting though, if we had a boxing rink, these would be cool, like pictures in there.
That look like an iPhone, like as a TV.
Oh yeah,
in the back.
This one does. Yeah, definitely. Right, and so you see, and this was one of the things that I was excited about when it came to AI and why I had even got into it, because I'm like, I got all these spaces in here and we could just fill it with our own art, like by putting these prompts together. You know, like I'm gonna go and put this picture right here in this raw talk space. Like we need some art on the walls. And so, you know, creating some really cool different art pieces. That's why you even see a bunch of different apples and like raw logos, because it's like, yeah, you know, changing the flavor, adding art. And I know me personally, at least, I'm a credit the artist. Like if I use Chris Day's Ellis style while using my AI, I'm gonna kind of, you know, self credit, even if the AI doesn't. I think based on this conversation. So yeah, good stuff though. Everybody enjoy the AI art. You want to make any last ones? Or you guys enjoyed that? Chy, you've been kind of quiet with the prompts.
Go ahead, Chy. What you got?
Let's see, Chy. Tell me something. What you want to make a picture of? Imagine.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I was muted. I was saying something the whole entire time. No, like this. I just wanted to see what you guys were gonna make. I'm definitely gonna go in and play around with it. I seen it earlier this week, and I'm like, oh, I have to have Mo show me how to do this.
Mm-hmm. And we about to make one right now. Go ahead and tell me a prompt.
Okay. I was thinking like paradise.
Okay.
Like a paradise,
What do you want to be doing in paradise? Give me an adjective that you're doing in paradise.
Riding on a bike with flowers.
Okay. Well, I like it. We about to get something good. Riding on a bike with do we want to give an adjective for the flowers? With flowers in paradise. Okay. Do we want to see anything else? I think maybe adding watercolor. This would kind of come out really nice.
Yeah, watercolor. Fairy tale. Make it like whimsical, I think.
Fairy tale. Ooh, whimsical. That's a good word. How do you spell whimsical?
I'm not even gonna lie, I had to stop and think. I was like, how do you use so
Here we go. I just missed the H. Okay, whimsical. You got anything you want to add, AK? Whimsical. Any colors? Sometimes if you add color palettes, that will come out really nice. I think watercolor though is a nice color palette. Maybe sparkles. I like good sparkles. Sparkles. Okay, I think that's good. You ready? Any last words we want to add in this prompt? We're riding on a bike with flowers in paradise, watercolors, fairy tale, whimsical, sparkles. All right.
Put flying on there.
Flying. Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to.
I was gonna say outer space.
Okay, like and we could add outer space then to make it like, or intergalactic. Ooh. Galactic.
Ooh. Yeah, that.
Okay.
Good word.
Here we go.
Okay.
Better to see.
I know, right? We had 12%. I told you this would be the best part. Like, okay. And then even the 100%, it'd be looking different. Like, oh, dang. Out of here, bro. Oh, hold up. What is this? I like that flower on the head. What's that?
Oh, that's trippy though. I like that.
Oh shoot! Let me get it 100%. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
That's
This.
so
Yeah,
cool. I have to post that.
Right.
the
Yeah.
bottom two go.
Yeah. They go hard. I'm gonna drop these all in our Raw Talk channel so that everybody can feel free to repost
That's
them.
so cool.
Right, but you see, it's that easy. Literally, once you have the Discord bot in there, you just push Imagine and you drop it. I was thinking about adding it to the Raw Discord, but you have to like pay, and then you get a certain amount per things. And so I was trying to find like the best option that will allow everyone to be able to do it in a way that makes sense. So. But definitely a lot of potential with AI art. Everybody that's watching on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, y'all seen how easy it was for us to come together and co-create these amazing pieces. We got this one. We also had our 80s or 50s boxing rink. And then our Black people in the metaverse back in the 80s. So, we created some amazing art together, had an amazing conversation talking about all the crazy stuff happening this week. And y'all know we do this every Saturday live at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We did change it around this week, but you see we also sat downstairs with the whole crew. And we're going to keep it going. So make sure you join the Discord so you can drop your own ideas. When you see a hot topic on Twitter, on Instagram, drop it there and we'll talk about it here together. Chy, was there anything else that you wanted to add about everything we've talked about today?
No, this conversation was great as usual. Again, guys, make sure you click those notifications and we out of here.
Peace.